Hello students, welcome to the lecture on production system and design. And after this lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. Define the main topology of products. Describe the concept of product life cycle. Explain the production system model. Understand the characteristics of production systems. Discuss the factors influencing manufacturing system. Define the production system design. Let's start with the introduction of production system and design. New product development, NPD, is a complex area of ideas and innovations, involving strategy, management, research and development, production, marketing, and decision-making. It requires linking science and technology, invention, or innovation with the marketplace. The success of new products mostly depends on new product development process and management, including effective attainment of knowledge and using it as part of the product design process. Companies must learn how to innovate effectively, overhauling their new product processes, from idea to launch, and incorporating winning ideas for successful new products. The economic success of a manufacturing firm depends upon their ability to identify the needs of its customers, to quickly create the subsequent products, and to produce them at a low cost. Achieving these goals is not solely marketing, a design or a manufacturing problem, but rather a management problem involving all of these functions. Production management involves the planning, organizing, and controlling of the whole production process. Let us now discuss the main topology of products. Classifying products into meaningful categories helps marketers decide which strategies and methods will help promote a business's product or service. Many types of classification exist. Convenience products. Convenience products involve items that do not require much customer effort or forethought. Shopping products. Customers are willing to invest time and effort to buy shopping products. For example, a customer might compare ingredients, prices, and safety information for a variety of deodorants before making a final purchase. Specialty products. Specialty products require significant thought or effort. Unsought products. Unsought products are items customers are not aware of or do not often think about. Now we will study the concept of product life cycle. The product life cycle, PLC, is used to map the lifespan of a product. There are generally 4 stages in the life of a product. These 4 stages are the introduction stage, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and the decline stage.
Hi people! You are about to witness something awesome!
Hey buddy!
Hi.
You look like shit! What is it?
I have a big problem. Maybe you can help.
Of course, my friend. I have the answer to everything, so bring it on.
You know, my company has grown a lot recently, from 1 to 10,000 employees.
That's awesome! Congrats, man!
Yeah, I know. But the company is spread out and the fast-changing markets and more demanding customers put pressures on my company to develop innovative and better products faster and at a lower cost than before. And this makes it hard to communicate and collaborate, and there's poor information about my products, and it's hard to speed up the development, and it's hard to compete in the market. I'm scared we're gonna lose market shares and that the company will go under. I also have to be more sustainable and reduce the environmental impact my product has during its life cycle.
I, the guru of everything, know exactly what you need.
OMG, really?
Yes, PLM is a solution to all your problems.
What is that?
PLM is a product-centric business approach. It's manage the product as efficiently as possible from idea to disposal. There are 3 phases in a product lifecycle, each with a different set of activities. The first one is called beginning of life, where the ideas are born, selected and designed. The next phase is the middle of life. This is where the product starts living with the customer and gets used, with the occasional need for maintenance and service. The last phase is end of life. Now the product is prepared to go on. It may get disposed, but hopefully recycled. PLM is a glue that connects all 3 phases and activities. This is enabled through a PLM system, which is a system of systems, where you connect all your IT systems so that you easily can share and access information within the whole company and through the product's entire lifecycle. This holistic view of the product with support from a PLM system results in many good things. PLM supports organizations in becoming more flexible, efficient and effective, and also helps collaboration and integration between partners, which in turn can lead to shorter time to market, higher quality and reduced cost. It also enables you to be more sustainable.
Dang, that sounds awesome. PLM is exactly what I need. Thank you, you're a queen.
Word! PLM rocks!
Hi! As you just saw, having PLM in an organization can be very beneficial in many ways. But there are challenges that might occur during and after implementation. A big challenge is the integration of the IT systems, because they can be very different and there is also often lack of standards. To get all benefits from a PLM system, a company also needs to develop a culture and a way of working which allows for effective use of the PLM system, which usually involves reshaping the business and organizational processes. So, if you want to use product lifecycle management in the best way, make sure that your company adopts new ways of working that utilizes what the PLM systems offers.
There is no set time period for the PLC, and the length of each stage may vary. One product's entire life cycle could be over in a few months. Another product could last for years. The 4 stages of the product life cycle. The process of product life cycle is as follows. Introduction. The introduction stage is probably the most important stage in the PLC. In fact, most products that fail do so in the introduction stage. This is the stage in which the product is initially promoted. Public awareness is very important to the success of a product. If people don't know about the product, they won't go out and buy it. Growth. If one is lucky enough to get product out of the introduction stage, they enter this stage. The growth stage is where product starts to grow. In this stage, a very large amount of money is spent on advertising. We want to concentrate on telling the consumer how much better product is than the competitors' products. There are several ways to advertise product. We can use TV and radio commercials, magazine and newspaper ads, or we could get lucky and customers who have bought product will give good word of mouth to their friends and family. Maturity. The third stage in the product life cycle is the maturity stage. If product completes the introduction and growth stages, then it will spend a great deal of time in the maturity stage. Decline. This is the stage in which sales of product begin to fail. Either everyone that wants to has bought the product, or more innovative products have been created that has replaced the product. Let's know about the production system model. A production system which produces a large number of items in many steps can be modeled as a continuous flow problem. The resulting hyperbolic partial differential equation, PDE, typically is nonlinear and non-local, modeling a factory whose cycle time depends nonlinearly on the work in progress. We study two prototypical control problems for this case. Demand tracking, where we determine the start rate that generates an output rate which optimally tracks a given time dependent demand rate, and backlog tracking, which optimally tracks the cumulative demand. Meaning of production system. Production systems are the methods and procedures used to produce goods for the market. Allocating resources. Bringing in materials and equipment is an important step in a production system. Division of labor. Division of labor is how workers and their skills are utilized. Assembly line methods simplify a worker's skills to limited tasks to increase productivity. Flexible, lean manufacturing requires workers to work with a team at a station and be able to do many tasks. Classification of production system. Production systems can be classified as job shop, batch, and mass production. Job shop production. Job shop production are characterized by manufacturing of one or few quantity of products designed and produced as per the specification of customers within prefixed time and cost. Characteristics. The job shop production system is followed when there is high variety of products and low volume, use of general purpose machines and facilities. Advantages. Following are the advantages of job shop production. Because of general purpose machines and facilities, variety of products can be produced. Operators will become more skilled and competent, as each job gives them learning opportunities. Limitations. Following are the limitations of job shop production. Higher costs due to frequent setup changes, higher level of inventory at all levels and hence higher inventory cost. Batch production. Batch production is defined by American Production and Inventory Control Society, APICS, as a form of manufacturing in which the job passes through the functional departments in lots or batches, and each lot may have different routing. Characteristics. Batch production system is used under the following circumstances: when there are shorter production runs, when plant and machinery are flexible. Advantages. Following are the advantages of batch production. Better utilization of plant and machinery. Promotes functional specialization. Limitations. Following are the limitations of batch production. Material handling is complex because of irregular and longer flows. Production planning and control is complex. Mass production. Manufacture are discrete parts or assemblies using a continuous process are called mass production. Characteristics. Mass production is used under the following circumstances: standardization of product and process sequence, dedicated special purpose machines having higher production capacities and output rates. Advantages. Following are the advantages of mass production: higher rate of production with reduced cycle time, higher capacity utilization due to line balancing. Limitations. Following are the limitations of mass production. Breakdown of one machine will stop an entire production line. Line layout needs major change with the changes of the product design. Did you know? The RETE algorithm, designed by Charles L. Forgy in 1983, is used in a series of production systems called OPS and originally developed at Carnegie Mellon University, culminating in OPS5 in the early 80s. Normally we know that production is manufacturing, and it is defined by economics, benefits of specialization of labor. It is also known as division of labor. And now businesses are wider and complex than earlier, and managers' responsibilities also increased from past. Presently, managers develop their techniques that focus mostly on efficiency of manufacturing, and workers will be under pressure for giving their best. Scope of production management. In fact, we apply principles of management and functions of management in our day-to-day life. We all know, from morning till night, we plan our activities, we coordinate available resources and control our activities to achieve certain goals. So also, any organization must follow the principles of management for its survival and growth. The same is applicable to production management also. Reading and learning production management will enable one to be capable of solving the problems of the organization, maybe an educational institution, production shop, hospital, departmental shop, or even a barber shop. The problems a manager faces in various organizations are more or less similar to that of production department, but smaller in magnitude. Product. Manufacturing system often produces standardized products in large volumes. The plant and machinery have a finite capacity. Service. Service systems present more uncertainty with respect to capacity and costs. Services are produced and consumed in the presence of the customer. Project. Project system does not produce standardized products. The plant, machinery, men, and materials are often brought to project site and the project is completed. There is no best manufacturing system for any product. The choice of the system depends on various circumstances, but it must meet two basic objectives. Namely, it must be able to meet the specifications of the final product, and it must be cost-effective. Capacity of the plant. The projected sales volume is a major influencing factor in determining whether the firm should go in for intermittent or continuous process. Fixed costs are high for continuous process and low for intermittent process, while variable costs are more for the intermittent process and less for continuous process. Flexibility. Flexibility implies the ability of the company to satisfy varied customers' requirements. Flexibility and product variety are interrelated. Environment. Environment brings in new technology and forces the adoption of new process of manufacturing. For example, wooden furniture is gradually being replaced by metals and plastic. The meaning, definition, and other basic points in a production system are: meaning of production, meaning of system, Definition of production system. Meaning of production system. Examples. Meaning of production. Production can be explained as an act of either manufacturing or mining or growing of goods, commodities, generally in bulk for trade. Production is a method employed for making or providing essential goods and services for consumers. Meaning of system. System is an arrangement or assembly of interdependent processes, activities, that are based on some logic and function. It operates as a whole and is designed, built, with an intention to achieve, fulfill some objective, or do some work. Huge systems are often a collection, assembly, of smaller subsystems. Definition of production system. Production system utilizes materials, funds, infrastructure, and labor to produce the required output in form of goods. Meaning of production system. Production system consists of three main components: VIZ, inputs, conversion, process, and output. Inputs include raw materials, machines, man-hours, components, or parts, drawing, instructions, and other paperworks. Conversion process includes operations, actual production process. Output includes finished products, finished goods, parts, and services. Examples. The examples of a production system are tangible goods. Consider an example of a manufacturing industry like a sugar industry. Here, sugarcane is first used as an input, and then the juice of sugarcane is processed through a conversion process, finally to get an output known as a refined sugar, used for mass consumption. Intangible goods. Consider an example from a service industry, that of a software development firm or company. Here, initially, written program codes are used as an input. These codes are then integrated in some database and are provided with a user-friendly interface through a conversion process. Finally, an output is made available in form of an executable application program. Importance of production planning and control. The system of production planning and control serves as the nervous system of a plant. It is a coordinating agency which coordinates the activities of engineering, purchasing, production, selling, and stock control departments. An efficient system of production planning and control helps in providing better and more economic goods to customers at lower investment. It is essential in all plants irrespective of their nature and size. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Product design is a goal-directed, problem-solving activity that relies heavily on human experience, creative thinking, and related knowledge. It should be done by integrating creativity and innovation tools with axiomatic design methodology for durable product development. Convenience products involve items that do not require much customer effort or forethought. Production management involves the planning, organizing, and controlling of the whole production process. Job shop production are characterized by manufacturing of one or few quantity of products designed and produced as per the specification of customers within prefixed time and cost. Manufacture of discrete parts or assemblies using a continuous process are called mass production. This production system is justified by very large volume of production. Production systems are the methods and procedures used to produce goods for the market. Production systems utilize material, capital, transportation, and labor resources to produce and distribute products.